Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have discussed about the highlights of the rulers of the Mughal Empire. In that, we covered Babur, Humayun, and Akbar. In today's class, I wanted to highlight about the Jahangir, Shahjahan, and Aurangzeb. After knowing about the important highlights of these three rulers, we'll move on to the new chapter. So, let us recall all the important highlights of the Jahangir, Shahjahan, and Aurangzeb administration and the role, the revenue system, the land revenue assessment, all those things. Okay. So, dear students, till now we saw the Babur's, Humayun, Sher Shah, and the Akbar's rule. Is it? So, in this Akbar, how the territorial expansion took under Akbar. Akbar wanted to bring entire India under the Mughal control. So what he did in 1561, the Mughal forces he launched attack on Malwa. There, the Bas Bahadur, the ruler of Malwa, felt his kingdom. He left out his kingdom due to this again due to the fear of this Akbar, and this annexed to the Mughal Empire. This was captured by the Mughal Empire. Next, Akbar sent an expedition to Gondwana. There, the Queen Durgavati, who was a regent for her of her son, because his son was minor, so she was ruling. She was defeated by Akbar, and even the Gondwana place was also acquired by the Akbar. In 1572, he conquered Gujarat. Then he also conquered the Rajasthan. To expand Mughal Empire, Akbar made an offer to Rajputs in various forms. What were they? He fought, he offered important posts in the administration and the military system, and he offered with the matrimonial proposals. So the Barmal, the king of Amir, he married the daughter of Barmal, the king of Amir, and he also retained the control over their kingdoms in return for recognizing the supremacy of the Mughal Empire. This helped to build good relation with the Rajputs and to take active part in consolidation of his empire. Then what were the conflicts he had with the states of Ranthambore and Jodhpur, but refused to accept this Akbar's suzerainty. Uday Singh, the Rana of Mewar, opposed his offerings like matrimonial alliances, and he fought at Chittor and he was defeated. Then Rana Pratap Singh raised an army in 1576 in the Battle of Haligati. So Rajman Singh of Amir became the general of Mughal forces against Rana Pratap. This Rana Pratap took shelter in nearby mountains and succeeded in the later year, and fought against the Akbar, and he took back his kingdom. So what were the other context the he met is after the conquest of Gujarat in 1572, Akbar's attention went towards eastern regions. So in 1585 and 1595, he again sent a series of campaigns in northwest India. That is to conquer the Kabul, Kanada, Sindh and eastern Balochistan. Next, what he did, he expanded his kingdom till Deccan region, and he brought Ahmednagar, Berar, Khandesh under his control. So his empire was stretched from Himalayas to Godavari and from Hindu Kush to Brahmaputra. So children, moving on to the further, next comes the Jahangir. So he was nominated by the Akbar, his father, and Jahangir's original name was Salim, is his real name, and he became the Mughal emperor in during 1605, and he got the title the conqueror of the world. And an autobiography says to I Jahangiri about the Jahangir's information of his during how did he rule his administration and all. We will be finding this information in the Tuzik I Jahangiri an autobiography. And he defeated whom Rana of Mewar in 1615, and this Rana accepted the religious tolerance. Next, Nur Jahan was married by Jahangir, and during this time, she introduced coins which were consisted of her name and gave land grants. And she does not want his prince Kuram to ascend to become the ruler after Jahangir. But finally, Kuram succeeded his father, and during his rule, trading factory was set up at Surat in 1600, By this, the two ambassadors from the foreigners, that is Captain William Hawkins and Sir Thomas Rawle, came to India in order to carry out the trade business. Students, after the death of Jahangir, who comes Shah Jahan. He ruled between 1628 to 1658. So this Shah Jahan took over the throne in 1628 and he ruled for next 3 decades, that is 30 years. So to know more about him, about Shah Jahan, we have sources like um, Padshahnama, Padshahnama by Abdul Hamid Lahori has written Padshahnama, and foreign accounts, that is the foreigner authors who has written Bernier, Monosi and Tavernier. Next, Shahjahan's rule was known for the period of peace and prosperity. He encouraged European to carry out the trade, and it was though he was against the Portuguese of Hugli, who were invading piracy, that is the duplication of conducting the trade products. Then Mughal architecture is one of the known factor during the Shahjahan, and Taj Mahal is one of the highlight of his construction, or the is at Agra was famous monument during his period, whose period Shahjahan. Next, Shahjahan shifted his capital to Delhi and made a new city, that is Shahjahanabad. And he was his famous peacock throne consists of a golden throne by 12 emerald pillars. And he was also very much interested in cultural aspect. So the cultural glory of the Shahjahans leads to strain the royal treasury and compensate his luxurious tax. That is, he used to spend more on his architecture and the cultural interest. So due to this, he raised the taxes to the farmers and added this leads to misery to the peasants. So next, what? Who else? Aurangzeb. So after the end of Shah Jahan's rule, a war of succession, four sons Dara, Sikhok, Suja, Aurangzeb, and Murad were